What's up, and welcome to Just My Take Sports NFL predictions for the NFC conference. Here we go, folks. I mean, we just got done with the AFC. Let's get into the NFC.
Let's do it.
We'll start with the NFC North. Fourth place, I'm going to have the Chicago Bears. I do not trust in Mitch. That's just simple as that. Mitchell. Sorry. I know you're all grown now. They're Mitchell, but I don't know. Still a big question mark about that. It's just simple as that. I have them at like 4 wins. So, Trevor, what do you think?
I got the Bears at 5 wins because I think they're just not as good as people think they're going to be. I think Mitchell was very high at the second pick last year. That was a little. You reached a little bit for that one.
I did too.
They didn't need to even trade for it because they weren't going for it.
No.
The 49ers weren't going to draft them.
No.
So, I think they went a little high on that, but. I think they get enough to win at least like 5 games, but I also don't have a whole lot of faith in their new head coach. He was the head coach, or he was the offensive coordinator of the Chiefs. Anybody watched them against the Titans in the playoffs last year? Their offense, but it sputtered in like the second half. They didn't do anything, so I don't know. I think they finished 4th as well.
Yeah, I also have the Bears in the 4th spot. I think there'll be a slight improvement in Mitchell's play, but I don't think it's going to be enough to change like winning outcomes.
They just don't have enough weapons around.
Yeah,
it's just simple as that.
Just the roster's just not strong enough in that division, nonetheless. It's a very good division.
Yeah,
in my money, like the past, 5 years, whatever, I think it's been the best division, top to bottom.
Just a little bit of a rebuilding year for the Bears.
They're just not there yet.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see how the new head coach.
I think it'll help them because they're still like a decent team, but being in that division, they'll look bad.
Yeah, I know.
And so then they can at least build up a little bit higher.
Because the other 3 teams in this are tough.
Very tough.
They are
Always.
Tough.
Yeah.
Well, leading in that, who you got third?
Third, I'm going to have the Green Bay Packers. And I do have a reason behind this. The bromance is over for Aaron Rodgers and Jordy Nelson. Jordy Nelson obviously joining the Oakland Raiders, and that was his favorite target. So I'm just in Aaron Rodgers. There's a little bit of some button heads between him and the organization here. So I just have him at third, and I still have him having a winning season though. But I just have him at third.
At third, I have the Lions. I think Matt Stafford is a 12-win quarterback, but I think the team is a 9-win.
Exactly.
And so I have him coming in at third, but like winning a lot of big games. I think that the Vikings I think are just a very good team, and I think they've always had a rough time against the Packers.
Always.
So that's why I think it's just not. They don't have quite enough to take on the Packers yet or the Vikings. So that's why I have them coming in third, but not by a lot.
Yeah, I got the Lions at third too. I love this team. I love Stafford, but it's like you said. He's a 12-win quarterback on a 9-win team. Nothing's been more accurate. I do think their previous coach Caldwell, like he wasn't good enough for that team.
No.
So I'd love to see Patricia do well there. I just don't know how that's gonna go. If he can find a stride as their coach and that team can rally around him and really make that cohesiveness work, this team could be really good, but I do have them at my third spot. I'm just not sold yet.
Yeah.
My second spot is this division, just for me personally, is a little bit different than everybody else's here, I'd have to say. But my second spot's going to be the Minnesota Vikings. I mean, they just came off a great playoff run there, but I mean, I still have them. I'm going to put them at second, and I'll talk about my first place team next. So, second place, just simple as that. No explanations needed. Second place.
Second place, I got the Packers coming in. Like you said, the team and button heads and stuff, but Aaron Rodgers is magic man on the field, so he makes plays that should not be allowed, and I think it's not. I like that he's it'd be the same situation. He's a lot better quarterback than what the team's giving him, but I think he's that much of a good quarterback that he'll bring him to where they need to be. Yeah.
So I got the Packers at second as well. I don't really have an NFC team I root for, but if someone was like, you have to pick a team to root for in the NFC, it would be the Green Bay Packers. I love Aaron Rodgers. Some of the plays he makes on the field, you're just like, what's this dude doing out here? Like, how is he doing this? I feel terrible for him because the roster, like, even if just look at the roster, it's him, and that's about it.
Yeah,
Definitely
yeah,
now.
definitely.
They've never got him. Like, Jordy Nelson's a great receiver. They've never had a game-changing receiver
Nope.
for him.
Mm-mm.
Which, I mean,
Or-
for him doesn't really make you.
But neither is Tom Brady, really.
Neither,
Besides Randy
neither-
Moss.
Yeah, that's very
Randy
true.
Moss.
That's very true.
Yeah. But good
one-
quarterbacks can make average receivers
Oh,
look real good.
absolutely. One thing I do like, and will give it a little momentum, is he's neglecting to talk about contract extension.
Yep.
Mm.
He wants to just focus on the season, which I love. That's one of the reasons I like Aaron. He's just very focused on the season at hand. Yeah, I got him at second place.
I'm going to piggyback here off of what Zach said. If I had to cheer for one NFC team, I truly don't cheer for one, but if I had to,
Right.
it'd be the Detroit Lions, and that's who's taking the cake in the NFC North, in my opinion.
I like it.
I just really like this team. I really like Matt Stafford. Darius Big Play Slay, I'm really a big fan.
Good-
and
good player.
Matt Patricia's a great addition. Matt Patricia led a very, 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 very mediocre defense last year in New England, and that ultimately lost us that Super Bowl. But that's beside the point. We're glad that he's now in Detroit, and you know what? Have yourself a time out there, Matt.
For my number one, I have the Minnesota Vikings with the highest record in the league. That's what I have as
Ooh, I
my
like
my
it.
total high up. Their defense is just a wall.
Just
Their
go,
defense is
yeah.
good. They got Adam Thielen and Stephon Diggs. They're gonna get what's his name? Dalvin Cook back.
Yes,
Dalvin Cook.
Yeah,
Dalvin
that was
Cook.
that was a hit to my fantasy team last year.
Yeah.
It was.
And then I think Kirk Cousins. I think that is a fabulous addition. Like I think he's like a top 3/4 of the league quarterback. He's not top end, but he's
No,
not, he's
but he's
definitely
there.
way above
Oh
average.
yeah,
Yep.
I agree.
And so I think he's a lot better than anyone they had last year.
And that's perfect for their defense.
Exactly. Their defense is incredible. Stephon Diggs obviously made that play.
Oh
It was
my
just
gosh,
ridiculous
that
last
play.
year.
Stephon
That
Diggs.
that play made me want to take my shirt
The
off.
Minneapolis Miracle.
That was
Yeah.
amazing. And so I think, yeah, I have them at that is my highest win team with 13 wins. I think they're just a solid team,
Yeah.
top to bottom. Everywhere they have is great. They're just great.
Yeah, first place I got Skull. I got the Vikings. I don't. There's nothing else I need to say that you touched on. They're there. I think Cousins was a great addition. Like he's a great quarterback. He's not phenomenal, but he's a good quarterback.
It's good for what they need.
and for that defense and those playmakers they have, yeah, I think this team's gonna win the division. But,
I mean, the Vikings, I have them and the Lions having the same record. But just winning head-to-head,
Right.
I have the Lions. So, basically, we have a very similar thing besides the Packers. I just don't agree with that. But you know what? We're just going to go on to probably, I'd have to say, toughest division in this NFC? I'd have to say either that or the North here, I'm thinking.
I'd lean North, but
I'd lean North as well.
decisions are
Based off of NFL champions here, we got the defending champions of the Philadelphia Eagles
Right.
in this division, the NFC East. And my fourth spot is actually going to go to the Washington Redskins. The loss of Kirk Cousins, I feel like, is going to hurt. And I don't know, I was a big Kirk Cousins. I like Kirk Cousins quite a bit.
You like that?
Yeah, exactly. I do like
Okay.
that.
Okay, yeah.
But Alex Smith, I don't know. He's an all right quarterback. I just don't know if he has the talent really around him that well. So I have them as last place in the division.
I too have the Redskins at last place. I mentioned in the AFC video that Alex Smith was what the Chiefs needed because he had talent around him. The Redskins have nobody around
Nobody
him.
around him.
They're not a good
Absolutely.
team. They're not anywhere. Kirk
No.
Cousins, I think he threw for 3,000, 4,000 yards or something last year.
Yeah.
But that was because he's a good quarterback.
Yeah,
Alex
and they were
Smith-
7-9 last
Yeah.
year. Like,
and so he did what he could, and
Yeah.
so I think Alex Smith being a literally just exactly average quarterback, I don't
Yeah.
think he's going to help them not any more than Kirk Cousins could. So I think, yeah, I have them pulling up fourth in this division as well.
yeah, I got them at fourth. I like Alex Smith, not on this roster. Jay Gruden's just a questionable coach. He was a great coordinator in Cincinnati, but he just hasn't been able to find anything in Washington. A lot of that could be around the roster, but he just hasn't elevated that roster to the heights that Redskins fans would want. So yeah, I got them at 4th, and then 3rd. This is, questionable to some people. I have the Giants. I think this team could do great things. They have a good roster. I think Saquon's going to have a good year. I don't know if he's going to be as good as everybody thinks yet, but yeah. So I got the Giants at 3rd. I'm not a big Eli guy, so that's why. That's the main reason.
Well, I'm obviously not a big Eli guy, considering he beats my guy in the Super Bowl at the time. But
he's Brady's kryptonite.
Exactly.
Off of fantastic catches, so borderline, they shouldn't have won those games. But
trust me, I'm well aware of that.
That's all
But third spot, I'm putting the defending Super Bowl champions, the Philadelphia Eagles. And I don't know. I'm not a fan of this team. I felt like they worked out really well last year. Carson Wentz, let's see if he's able to be the same. I don't know if he is, but then again, you have Nick Foles backing him up. So you're best backup in the league right now.
Without a doubt, yeah.
I mean, if the Eagles want to be nice and send him down to Tampa Bay, that'd be probably pretty well for Tampa Bay. But you know what? That just doesn't seem like it's going to happen. But I'm seeing that they're going to go, even 500 this year, 8-8. Just simple as that. I don't know.
That's a drop.
That is a drop.
That's a 5-game drop.
That's a big drop.
My 3rd place team. We're gonna. I don't have a whole lot of faith in them. We're gonna go with the Dallas Cowboys. I think that it definitely showed big time last year that Dak Prescott cannot be what he is without Zeke.
Not a big Dak guy.
He's just a. He seemed like a really average quarterback last year. He makes good consistent throws, but he's not gonna win you games. Zeke was the game changer for that team, and the line is not nearly as good as it used to be. I think they jumped the gun with Dak, because I definitely think he was what they needed over Tony Romo, but I think he's not what they thought because his first year he played amazing, and then he kind of fell off when Zeke couldn't play. They're maybe losing Des Bryant will help. They also lost Jason Witten.
Yeah.
And then their defense is just and I think they. And then with all this Jerry Jones business, there's a lot of controversy between the players and stuff, and I think it hurts them. And I think they don't even go 500. So.
Gotcha.
But pulling up second, this is where we're somewhat similar, because I have the Giants going exactly 500. So I don't think they're going to be good. I don't think they're going to be bad. Like Zach said, I think they have a very talented roster.
They do have a very talented roster.
With Odell, Saquon could be the guy that was it Evan Ingram, their tight end, I think.
Yep.
He's rookie. He played really, really well last year. If Eli can get his his head back on, he's a good quarterback.
He is a
he's
good
not
quarterback.
Great.
I'm just people like to love on him because of the 2 championships, and that's it. That's all he's done.
Exactly.
He's missed the playoffs a lot.
Yeah,
so.
Landon Collins is a baller out there. So I think they have a playoff caliber talent.
They do,
but I don't know if they have a playoff caliber team as a whole together. I don't know if they can work together.
I agree.
So
my second spot. So I had the Cowboys, and the Cowboys, I don't know, a lot of people are going to think, wow, Jake's coming out with some bold takes in the NFC East. Well, I am. Just simple as that. I'm a big fan of the Cowboys. I think Zeke's a fantastic running back. I feel like he gets kind of overshadowed by Le'Veon Bell and Todd Gurley a little bit. I don't think he gets as much media coverage because he's not basically bitching about his contract all the time. But I think the Cowboys, I know they're losing Des Bryant as a target, but I'm kind of going to bank on Earl Thomas coming in for that defense. I feel like they're going to eventually make a trade for him. I mean, he's holding out right now, and I read his Players Tribune thing, and he wants out, basically.
Yeah, he wants out.
He wants out. He signed that contract thinking he was going to be a part of the Legion of Boom, and Legion of Boom is no longer there. So I really like to see Earl Thomas join this team, and I feel like if they do, I feel like that's a 12-win team in my opinion.
Wowza.
That's high. I do have the Cowboys at second as well. I think Ezekiel Elliott is a game changer. I think he just got sued, which is the 3rd instance he's had in the league in 2 years, which is
it's not good. Not good. You don't want to know those distractions.
That's a lot of off-field distractions for a young running back, but I don't like the Cowboys, but I've got them at second.
America's team.
Yeah, which is whatever. I'm not going to get into that. But
Ooh,
Dak's,
January car crash.
Dak's good, and Zeke helps. And if Zeke can play the whole year, I think they'll be second spot.
Valid.
Trevor, you want to lead us off with who you think gets first?
Oh, we're bringing back the money man, Carson Wentz.
Yes.
Fly,
You
Eagles,
know
fly!
it,
Our
fly,
guy.
Eagles. I love Carson Wentz. Obviously, he's coming off an ACL injury, so we don't know if he's going to be the guy he was last year. But, oh, man, I loved watching him last year. That dude could make plays.
Yeah.
I like him because he definitely appears like he's going to be the next big thing. Like, he is going to be the guy to lead this league into the future.
I think so.
And Tom Brady in the past, now I think it's going to transition into Carson Wentz being the guy.
I think so, too.
And I really, really liked him. They have a great talent all around. Their defensive line is stacked.
Studs.
Got even more stacked
Yeah.
over the season. They lost both their coordinators.
I think so.
But Doug Peterson. Yeah, he was on the call to plays anyways. So
Yeah.
like,
Does it really
He's-
matter? No.
yeah,
No,
exactly.
He did a great job
Like,
last year.
He got the Patriots on their own play. With,
Oh, yeah.
with Nick Foles in the Super Bowl. Like that was just awesome. And like, so I think the Eagles they take the division again. I think they're just a really good up and down team, especially with the amazing quarterback.
I don't know what game you're talking about. So what's that? So Zach, let's hear what you have as your one spot.
Yeah, I got Philadelphia as well. I love Carson Wentz. There's questions about the health, but I'm not that worried about it. I think he'll be all right. That dude can rip it, man. He can make plays back there. I've got them digressing slightly in wins. A lot of that due just to Carson might have a little slower start, but yes, I've got this team taking home first spot in the East.
In my predictions, the Eagles and the Cowboys, I feel like, are easily interchangeable. And I know I probably should have started that off by saying that, but I didn't. But I'm just saying they're easily interchangeable, but I do have Cowboys as second. My first place team, that's not interchangeable. I'm going with the G-Men. The Giants, they have added a running game to a team who hasn't had a running game in for however long. And now,
That's very true.
once you have a running game, guess what that opens up? The passing game. It's pretty simple, folks. So I'm going to have to put the Giants up there. Saquon Barkley absolutely tore Michigan apart when they played. And, so I'm just going to have to put the Giants there. I feel like he will have the big season that everybody thinks and probably win Rookie of the Year there.
I think that's valid, and I think there's like Zach was mentioned before in the past that the wide receiver position is the most overrated position in football.
I firmly believe
I
that.
would agree with that, and as much distractions and stuff as Odell brings with him,
Yes.
Don't get me started on Odell.
That dude, he's a lot of distractions. He gets hurt a lot, but in my opinion, this is probably an uncommon opinion here, he is one of the few game-changing receivers.
No, I think he's completely. I think he
is.
completely is, but
Eli
he's not
Manning's-
worth the negative.
yeah.
There's negative
I
and
agree.
positive. I don't think he.
I'll admit how good he is, but like,
I
there's
agree.
so much about him that makes me want to pull whatever few amount of hair I have on my head out.
I agree, but like, there's a lot of quarterbacks that make receivers look good, but Odell makes Eli look good, and that's why I think,
They've got the roster.
like Jake mentioned, if they can open up the receiving game, then like he could have a really big season.
Yes.
Just one last point that literally doesn't deal with this barely at all is Saquon Barkley being drafted by the Giants. Just keep in fact that a lot of people would agree with my previous point about the Browns being a wild card team if Saquon Barkley would have been drafted by the Browns. So just keep that in mind.
Come on, Cleveland. What are you doing?
Yeah, just keep that in mind. But whatever, they messed up. What's new? So let's go to the NFC South. My last place team. I feel like everybody should agree here is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Let's not talk about this team much at all. We all got the Bucs in last. It's time to move on from Jameis Winston.
Jameis Winston needs out of Dodge.
Jameis
See ya.
Winston is not nearly good enough for all of the outside of football stuff he brings to the table. I like to try to give people second chances that don't do anything crazy.
Well, now he's done about 4 times.
Absolutely. Like, after the crab legs thing, I'm like, okay, not a big deal. The story that he said is, the worker said is cool. Yeah, on me, come and take them, whatever. After that, I'm like, yeah, we can move on. And then, since then, he's done about 3 or 4 things that you're just like, how many chances are we going to give a guy? Definitely one that's not even that great of a quarterback.
Let's not be giving this girl some reach around action in an Uber, okay?
No doubt.
That's a big no-no.
It's
That's
time
the
to
no-no
move on
square.
from Jameis It's time to move on for the Bucks. They're not going to win a lot of games.
I completely agree. So that one was that one's pretty obvious. We
Yeah.
all have that
The
one.
Eagles
unanimous.
need to start being some team players, ship Nick Foles down there, and help the team out. Just simple as that. But
So,
third place, I think, I don't know if we agree on this at all,
Let's
but
find out.
Carolina Panthers. Carolina Panthers.
I too have the
Cam?
Panthers.
I also had the Panthers.
Oh!
But it's tight. It's tight. You know,
It's tight. It's tight for
But
me
I have
too.
the Panthers winning 2 games. The Panthers are one of the streakiest teams in the NFL.
Very
Very
They
streaky.
won like 5 games last year. They won like 12 games the year before. So like, you know, it's an
They're
up and
very
down.
streaky.
If Cam's on, he's a really good player, but he's very selfish at the same time, and so
Mhm.
I think him running is not smart. I don't think quarterback design plays to run are good, especially when your quarterback can actually throw. Because
Yeah.
like you don't want to get that's an easy way to get hurt. Look
Yep.
at Carson Wentz; he got hurt
Yep.
by running. That's just
Yep.
dumb.
And Cam's huge. He's got a body to run, but I saw a couple games last year where he took hits.
Oh
man.
yeah.
Like, I don't care how big you are as a quarterback, you're only going to last so long with
Yeah.
doing that.
I have them at 5 wins, personally.
I got him at 7.
I got him at 9. I think they win a couple.
And that's a good division. The NFC South
It's
is
a
a good
very,
division.
very good division. And I feel like we already said the NFC North and the NFC East are probably the top 2 divisions, but the NFC South aren't no chumps here,
No,
folks.
yeah, don't
At
sleep on
all.
don't sleep on
them.
Uh-uh.
But I'm going to have to say second spot, we're going to go into that, and it's going to be the Atlanta Falcons. I just don't know about this team. I mean, I feel like ever since we had the downfall of the Atlanta Falcons in the Super Bowl,
Yes.
we really haven't, I don't know.
They haven't been the same team.
It's
No.
mentally, like, man, it's tough to come back from that.
I
definitely
mean,
is.
that's brutal. You're still a meme, and it's now 2018. So, yeah, it's not good for you. But I feel like, do we all agree on the Falcons here?
I too have the Falcons coming in second. I think if Julio Jones, did they finally get him under the contract
I don't
yet?
think
I'm, I'm not sure.
I don't
Okay,
think
well,
yet. Don't quote me on that.
Either way, but like that dude, he's good. He's one of those receivers that
He
can
is.
make changes.
He is.
I like their running game. Their defense is enough, I think, because they have a really
It's
solid
enough.
offense.
It's enough.
But they lost a big piece that actually went to the Patriots there of their defensive line. But I mean, other than that,
It's enough.
It's enough.
It's good enough to. They have a high-powered offense. I think it's
Yeah.
good enough to win some games.
First place, I feel like now we basically all have to agree. New Orleans Saints,
Oh, yeah.
Drew Brees, Alvin Kamara. I mean, we're gonna be looking good.
Yeah,
Looking real good.
yeah. I got the Saints in first. Drew found the fountain of youth somewhere in New Orleans,
Yep.
Louisiana. This dude, like, man, you look at Drew Brees, like, how is this dude an elite quarterback? He's so short.
My height
You
out
know,
there.
he's Trevor Bunch, a little thicker, just out there.
coming from
Like,
Purdue.
You
of all
know, yeah,
places.
coming from Purdue, the best player ever out of Purdue. Like, you know, I don't know. I like their roster. They've got a good roster. They've got good weapons.
I agree. I like
Got 'em at first, yeah.
for some reason their defense was like, all right, let's just turn into elite for some stupid reason.
Yeah.
They,
Oh, yeah, they did.
got
Last year
they're
they turned it
terrible.
on.
They were terrible at the start, and then all of a sudden they were amazing.
Yeah.
They have some.
It didn't make
corner
any
injuries.
sense.
Yeah. Then Michael Thomas, is that the receiver?
Michael
name?
Thomas is a
That
good
dude's a
receiver.
beast.
Yes.
And I think Drew Brees is like 1,000 away from the all-time
I
record.
think so. He's
I
close.
think-
Like, he'll get it.
He's
if
definitely
he doesn't
gonna
get
get it.
hurt, he'll get it.
I think he wants to blow it out. I think he
so.
wants to.
Oh, definitely with that offense.
He has the
man.
most 4,000 yard, 4,000 seasons. I think.
I think so.
I'm
yeah.
of
And
no
so-
help on this.
Yeah,
so.
I think
he
he
does.
has
I
4,000
think he does. That
seasons.
sounds right.
I think he has he might have the most 300-yard games. I think he's just gonna obliterate that record. I think he goes for over 4,000 yards
Yeah.
again this season, no problem.
Yeah, man, I love the Saints. I love Drew Brees. He's a great guy. I like their coach, Sean Payton. He's
Yeah.
been there for a while and done well.
Yeah,
Saints might make it back to the bowl this year.
they might. I definitely like Alvin Kamara too.
Yes.
That dude came out of nowhere, and it was
Yes.
all of a
Yep.
sudden just an animal out
Yeah,
there.
I picked him up early last year, thankfully, on my fantasy team, and that
Oh
was
yeah,
blessed.
I liked because he outdid Kareem Hunt was like, oh, this is the guy's the next big thing, and then all of a sudden Alvin Kamara was like,
Yeah, watch me. Yeah.
hold up. So that one was pretty quick division.
You
I
got
think.
Saints
Got
as
anything
well,
else?
yeah.
Yep, Saints as well. So let's get into our last division here. We have the NFC West, and I'm gonna lead it off here. 4th spot is the Seattle Seahawks. It's just not looking good in Seattle, guys.
I like it.
It's really looking bad, to be
Yeah.
quite honest with you. You got Russell Wilson. The LOB is gone. Pete
Yep.
Carroll, you better start scrapping this team together, bud, because it's not looking good. It's going downhill quick.
Yep.
12th man, I don't know how much help you can be, to be quite honest with you.
Oh yeah, I agree. I agree with the points you're
Going
making,
down,
but
right.
I don't. But I have the Cardinals coming in fourth in mine because I just they weren't great last year. They're supposed to be pretty good. I like David Johnson a lot. He's a beast. They lost Honey Badger on defense.
Yep.
They still have Patrick Peterson though. So
Yes, Peterson.
but that's one side. You get
Right.
the other corner is
Yep.
garbage.
Yep.
And then like it was the Sam Bradford's there. He's an above average quarterback, not great.
Slightly above.
Yeah.
If he's healthy.
When he's healthy, he's pretty good. And then I mentioned in my video I do not believe in Josh Rosen
Neither do
at
I.
all.
I do
I
not
think
either.
he maybe finds the field once or twice this season, and I don't think he's going to be anything special. So I don't think they're what they should be. They got that the defensive coordinator, was it from the Panthers? I think that's who they was, their coach. So I don't know. They don't seem like they're anything special to me, so I have them coming in fourth.
Yeah, I got the Cardinals at fourth as well. Yeah, like Bradford's not bad when he's healthy, but the dude's hardly ever healthy. That's a big question mark. I think Rosen will play 25% of the games or more. I think he'll play at least 4 games, not start but play. Yeah, this Cardinals team just there's nothing really to write
rough.
home about.
Exactly. It looks rough. I have them kind of neck and neck for last place here between them and the Seahawks. But the Cardinals, Sam Bradford, I like him as a quarterback. David Johnson coming back off injury, he'll be all right. But I know you guys aren't as much believers in Josh Rosen as I am. I have a little bit of belief in him. I'm not saying a lot, a little bit. But I feel like Josh Rosen will eventually get that starting job out there. I mean, Sam Bradford, not saying he's a bad quarterback. It's just, I don't know. It's just kind of, it's Sam Bradford. Everybody kind of gets the gist with Sam Bradford.
Right.
It's
You
Sam
know
Bradford.
what you're getting out of him.
Exactly.
He's not going to surprise you with anything. You know what you're getting.
Agreed.
You might as well give the Josh Rosen a chance. I mean, Josh Rosen, whether you like him or not, he's a very smart kid. He's
He
a
is
very smart kid.
He's very intelligent.
He just kind of maybe sometimes needs to shut his pie hole just a
Maybe
little
a
bit.
little bit.
Just a little bit. But,
No, I'm not a fan of his. Not a fan of his.
So do we have just our third and fourth just interchangeable here?
Yeah, I have the Seahawks at third only because I have them winning an average amount of games, decent amount. The reason why I have them a little bit higher than I have them. I mean, I think it's the most out of you two. I have them at 9 wins.
I got him at 8.
I think I might have gone a little high on them, but the only reason is they still have a few pieces of Legion of Boom, so it's not like
Earl Thomas,
yeah,
who
so
doesn't even want to show up.
Yeah, well there you go. But they have a few players that like their defense isn't complete garbage. Their line is garbage, but they still have Doug Baldwin, I think, and so like
Yes, they
and
do. Doug's a good player.
I believe in
Russell
Russell Wilson. I'm
I do.
a huge fan of Russell Wilson. I think he's such a great guy. He's a great locker room presence. He's just a cool guy. So like, I think he plays well enough this season to win him some games at least.
Yeah, I got the Seahawks as third as well, and the only reason I got them really above the Cardinals is quarterback play. Russell Wilson, his interviews give me headaches because it's the most cliche things you could ever say, but I do think he's a terrific leader and a great quarterback. He can make plays on his own, like all the time, because the offensive line isn't helping him whatsoever. I like Doug Baldwin. That's just a great option for him to dish it out to if need be. But yeah, I've got him at 8-8 this year, and next year I believe it's going to be much lower.
Oh, I think they're gonna fall apart.
I think this is like the tipping point. Wouldn't be surprised to see a new head coach next year. I just think this is where it all starts to rip away at the seams. Like you've mentioned multiple times, Earl Thomas will not be a Seahawk next year. You would have to imagine, if even through this year, he could be traded.
And
this
I mean,
year.
I just feel like you guys think it's about to fall apart. I think it's falling apart.
Yeah,
I think
that's
it's
what I'm
done.
saying. I think it's going to
valid.
fall apart during the season. I think they're going to have enough wins and Russell Wilson to get them to 8-8 in the third spot. But yeah, this is the end of the Seahawk dynasty.
You want to go into the second spot, which I feel like we probably should all agree on this one.
Yeah, I
Despite
would wager.
Despite Jimmy G being on the insane train, like I wrote a blog about, I'm going to have to put the 49ers in the second spot. Jimmy G's their answer. Just simple as that. He's the answer.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I like Jimmy G. I think I think he is. I really like the way he plays. He has really good arm talent. The only thing that a little concerns me is like he can hit passes all the time. Like he barely throws any picks. He is always super consistent. He just he I had him on that fantasy team last year. Maybe it was just his first year there, but he doesn't throw that many touchdowns. He's
Nope.
He has a problem with the red zone, and so like
which is
that hurts. Like he has Kyle
red zone
Shanahan.
efficiency is huge.
Yeah, and he has Kyle Shanahan, one of the best offensive minds in the league, and so like I think. Like, well, you can see what he did with Matt Ryan. He threw like 45 touchdowns, and so that's why.
And now Matt Ryan's good, but not elite.
Yeah, so Kyle Shanahan can make quarterbacks throw touchdowns. So that's why I'm a little concerned with Jimmy G there, but I think it's enough because like he plays in my. I don't know. He's not obviously Tom Brady. He plays very similarly to him.
But you would expect
Tom Brady
a
throw touchdowns.
quarterback to say, "I'm better than the guy in front of me."
Yeah.
If they don't say that, then they've got confidence issues.
Yeah.
No one in their right mind believes Jimmy G is better than Tom Brady.
Yeah.
But if your head quarterback, the key of your franchise says, "Nope, the guy in front of me was clearly better," than you, you're like, "Dude, what are you doing? You're a quarterback."
Like
I feel like we should just have a little bit of respect for Tom Brady. Though.
No.
If I'm Jimmy G, Jimmy G was taught everything from Tom, and you're going to say that I'm better than Tom. I think that's a little bit of a bold claim. Considering
It's 100% a bold claim, but I would be upset if I was on his team or a coach and he said, "No, Tom Brady's."
Well, when Tom was suspended, despite Jimmy G getting hurt, I mean, Jimmy G wasn't doing anything just absolutely.
No, don't get me wrong. I think
40% did the same thing he did the game after.
Yeah,
so
I got the 49ers at second place. I think Jimmy G's overrated. I'll come out and say that. When we did our top 5, like who are the 5 players you would pick to start a franchise, I had several people say Jimmy G. I think people bought in way too heavily to those 5 wins last year. Yes, this team was garbage until he started playing.
Yeah,
he added a lot to the team. A lot of that is because a lot of times you'll see rookie quarterbacks or first-time starting quarterbacks come in and wow,
just adrenaline rush there.
Wow you. Because other teams don't really know what to expect. They're like, okay, we got a rookie guy coming in. We don't need to worry about it too much. He comes in. Also, he won these games at the end of the season when a lot of teams that are playing either are already secured or not even close to secured. So
it doesn't really matter.
I think he's not very overrated, but he is overrated. He's not the next best thing. I love the point that one of you guys said about the touchdowns that we were talking about.
Yeah, that was true.
Red zone efficiency for touchdowns is huge. Like, it's an extremely important stat. Me and Jake are Michigan football fans. To get touch into that, we were awful in the red zone last year. You can't be bad. You can't be bad in the red zone and be a good offense. So I think he's overrated.
And that all boils down to quarterback play right there.
Still got him at the second seed, which is good, but nothing to write.
They really don't have much competition coming from the bottom half. I mean, not really.
And no one's dethroning Los Angeles in that.
Yep, and I mean,
that one's pretty obvious.
Pretty obvious it's the Rams. And let's go back to who would you start your franchise with? I said Jared Goff. That's who I'd start it with. That's one of the top players I would want on part of my team. And I feel like the Rams are going to run away with this division, in my opinion. They are so talented. The only problem that we see with them is the egos. They have so many egos on this team. And for Sean McVay, I mean, he's a very, very young coach, and him having to deal with this circus that's about to go down. I mean, let's hope he can just maintain the fire. Just maintain the fire. That's all you need to do and win football games.
He's very young, but I think a slightly young coach is the best to deal with the personalities because he's the most relatable. The guys are going to listen to him more than some older guy. But we all have them at first. This is my best team in the NFL as far as wins go. I have them with the most wins. Their roster's nuts. They've made several acquisitions this offseason. They got Talib, which was great for their defense. They got Sue.
Brandon Cooks.
Like I'm saying, the roster was already good last year. They got acquisitions to excel. I think Goff is a good quarterback. I think he's very good. I think Gurley helps that a lot. And
he just got paid big bucks.
Gurley's insane. He just got that big contract. It's time to show out. Brandon Cooks is a good acquisition, and that defense is gonna be great. Just secure Aaron Donald.
So
I think I like your points. Todd Gurley is he's a man out there. That dude is good.
Yeah, he is. He's insane.
The only thing that I'm a little bit concerned is whether it'll last. Because the only reason I say this is because he had an amazing rookie year.
Yep.
His second year was garbage, and then he just had an amazing another year.
Yep.
So I don't know if he's going to go back on the
Right.
decline or he's
Is
going to
it
stay with
trend?
that.
Is it a
So,
cyclical
trend.
pattern every other year?
Yeah,
That's
so, like,
very true.
You know, it could be, but if it's that dude is a beast. So like.
Yeah, I think if he has a great year, this team's going far.
Oh yeah,
Yep.
I think Jared Goff is very very quality quarterback.
Yep.
So he's like I think
He's put it together.
yeah, I like
lot.
him because he's young. So there's still a lot of potential. He's not great. He's not Carson Wentz,
No.
but he's not, he's not an average.
He's
quarterback.
not
He can throw
well above
touchdowns. He can
average. Yep.
he can run. He can do what he needs to do. Because
win
that
for
team
once.
is stacked.
That
So
team is stacked. That roster.
so I like it.
Let's run through who we have winning here, and then we'll get into our wild card.
Yeah, just retouch on the
Yep.
champions.
So
this one's actually different than the AFC. We had all same with the AFC, but this one we have a little
Yeah,
bit
we
different.
got some variety here a little bit.
yep. So I have NFC North Lions. We got NFC East the Giants, NFC South the Saints, and NFC West the Rams.
So I believe Zach and I have the same.
I think so.
I have the NFC East as the Eagles, the NFC South as the Saints, NFC North as the Vikings, and the NFC West as the Rams.
Yep, we're the same. North Vikings, East Eagles, South Saints, and West Rams. Yeah, let's break down the wild card. here.
Wild card. I'll just say my two here, and I got the Cowboys, America's team, and the Vikings. The Vikings, we already went into a rant of how good they are, and the Cowboys, I just feel like they're going to have a good season with Ezekiel Elliott, and I feel like Dak Prescott will actually show out not as many targets. He has something to prove. It's just simple as that.
Yeah.
So
I think, I've heard a lot of people say it, and I completely agree. I think Des Bryant was hindering Dak Prescott. Dak felt like, if I don't get this guy touches, he's going to blow up on the
Exactly.
sideline.
Exactly.
Now Dak doesn't have to worry about getting any specific receiver touches. He can just make the good plays. I think that'll help a lot.
Yeah.
I'm a big anti-Des Bryant guy, if you haven't noticed.
Wait, do you have the Cowboys as in?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, so you have the Cowboys in. So
your wild card. What's your wild card?
my sixth team. So the last team in is the Atlanta Falcons. I mentioned earlier, I like them. I think they have enough to get them over the close teams in the running, I don't have the Lions in, like the Giants, the Cowboys, so maybe even the 49ers or something. I think they have enough to just push them just over them. So I
Yep.
think they can slot in as the last team.
Who are your wild card picks?
All right, so my last team in, I have the Dallas Cowboys. Don't love this team, but I think Zeke and Dak, now that Dak has a little bit of the Des Bryant issue off his shoulders,
Yeah.
I think they'll be really good. I don't think they're going to surprise anybody because everybody kind of thinks they'll do well in the main media. But yeah, I've got them as my 6th spot. And then my 5th spot, I got the Packers. Like we said earlier, don't love the roster, but Aaron Rodgers can do whatever he wants.
Can't bet against him.
With any roster. That dude is insane. We've seen how many late game wins he's had. Arguably, it might be the most ever, comeback.
Yeah,
or,
I've
late
watched.
games. Yeah.
Tossing Hail Marys from 60
yeah,
yards
I
out.
mean, if the Packers are down or tied late in the game, you're flipping it on because you never know
Yep.
what's going to happen.
Yeah.
So yeah, those are my 2.
So that's a wrap for
Whoa, my 5th pick also. I didn't.
Oh.
my
I'm
5th.
so sorry.
No, that's okay. It's okay. I just went with my last spot in, and then my 5th pick is I have the Packers, as well. Like you mentioned, that one the play he had against I think the Lions.
Yes, the
that
Lions,
one, he
that
ran
Hail
to
Mary.
the side. Well, there's another one. He ran to the sideline, threw it across his body, and hit the guy on the touchline. I was like, that dude makes plays that you see in Madden.
Yep.
He does
Yep.
not make real life plays,
Yep.
and so that's why I think he's. Like Jake said, you can't bet against him.
Yeah.
He's the man.
I think Aaron's going to be a little hungry this year. With the injury last year, the team was a little disappointing. And then all the talk about him, being unhappy and wanting the contract stuff, I think he's just going to be real focused on winning. I really think that's what's going to come down to them.
Yeah.
So now that's a wrap for the NFC preview show. We're going to be coming out with blogs every day, coming out with talking about each division, breaking down each division.